want your kids to play independently or have some screen-free activities, then Small Worlds are an awesome option. What I love about it is it encourages my daughter to play independently, and she can come back to it throughout the day and throughout the week. We've had one set up for 2 weeks now and it's still going strong. It's the snail and the whale one that I talked about in the Kmart hacks, like toddler hacks video, just before Christmas. It's the 8th of January and it's still going strong. So what is Small World play? It's acting out a scene, story or scenario from real life or completely imaginary. My best tip is to choose a theme that interests your child, something that's meaningful to them. If they're pointing out diggers all the time, then make a construction vehicle one. They're more likely to be interested in it and play with it for longer, and therefore they're going to be playing with it by themselves. There's so many skills that can be gained from Small World play. The first skills that jump into my head that they're developing is their imaginations. They're extending on what they've already got and they're working on their storytelling. Setups can be super simple or they can be really elaborate. So for me personally, I make sure that my setup is quite short because I don't want to spend too much time setting up an activity if she barely plays with it. Especially starting off, I really think simple is best. So I saw on Facebook this lady had shared how she'd done 2 setups with her boys. So one of them was really elaborate, it was really beautiful, it was on a table, it had a tree house, it had all these different areas. Look, it looked amazing. And then her boys were into diggers, so they'd been wanting to dig outside in the garden and she'd been saying no. So she had this little garden bed, she pulled out some of the dead flowers, she loosened up the dirt, put the diggers in there, and they played for hours. She shared them with other mums to say, follow your child's interests. Her boys were into diggers. They just wanted to dig in the dirt with the diggers. And because it was of interest, they did it for hours. Whereas the other one she'd seen on Pinterest or Instagram and was giving it a go, but it didn't work. That's the thing we've got to remember about Pinterest Perfect and Instagram Fantastic is that's the blogger's business. So it has to be really appealing. That's how you get likes. That's how you get shares, is by having really gorgeous pictures. But so many are now sharing what is Instagram worthy, and in reality, this is what the activity looked like. Lately, my daughter has enjoyed Small Worlds more. And looking back at her development, she by herself was role playing more with her teddy, with her cars and with animal figurines. And so she started doing that by herself. So then if I set up a little world for her, she'll continue acting out, role playing, storytelling. But if you're just starting Small Worlds, it's important the first time that they'll need guidance. And depending on your child will depend how much guidance they need. So personally, I did a lot of modeling, so I'd show how things worked. So one of our early ones we did was a beach scene where I had a turtle, and I would say, oh, the turtle's going into the water now, it's going for a swim. Now it's going onto the beach, it's going to lay some eggs for some baby turtles. So talking about what's happening, demonstrating with moving the figurines or the vehicles to show what to do. And the next step is asking questions. So with that same beach setup, I could have said, where's the turtle going now? Who's in the water swimming? Who's playing together? Where should they go next? So a massive skill that's learnt through Small Worlds is role playing. I often hear my daughter saying sentences to her teddies that I have said to her. Or recently we've been reading Thomas the Tank Engine books, and so she will act out Thomas with her train set. So other skills that are learnt from Small World are problem solving. So with the train set up, if the tracks broke, how are we going to fix it? How is the train going to get over the bridge? Problem solving within the Small World, as well as building confidence and dealing with emotions. Often I'll hear her verbalize what the animals or the vehicles are feeling. So dealing with her own emotions and playing it out in a Small World. And definitely language development. A super popular one in our house that we actually did last summer and have done it multiple times since is just getting a container of water, a drop of food dye, so it was blue water, and then putting some rubber ducks on the top. And we just, like I said, I modelled the ducks, oh quack quack. We even sang that song, 3 little ducks went out one day. so on and so forth. Other activities I've done, and I've even done this with my son who's 8 months, and obviously he isn't getting the role playing and the storytelling, but he's enjoying the water play aspect, is he has boats on water, a really shallow tray. We've done sea animals in the bath. Could also do Arctic, so using white Duplo and putting that in the water as like an iceberg, it floats, and then putting the animals in. Another word I've seen around is sensory small world, so I want to explain that a little bit. By sensory, they mean like a sensory base, so whether it's like coloured rice, coloured noodles, you know, chickpeas, oats, polenta, just some kind of sensory base like that. It can be taste safe. And then adding in your figurines or your vehicles. So for instance, we've got these little diggers, and then loose parts, so shells, plants. So you can keep it really basic, and it might just be, the one I've done with the construction vehicles was polenta, and then these in that Kmart play tray that you get from the kitchen section for $8. And then small parts with construction vehicles, I've done pebbles as well. So like I said, it's about picking a theme. Another one we've done is farm animals. So setting up a little farm with, you know, some fake grass and different animal figurines and playing that out. I've also drawn a small world like a road, so a car could go across it with like blocks making a bridge, and then just different pictures. And that can be done on a cardboard box. If you've got some cardboard boxes left over from Christmas, then just draw it out on that. It just makes it more exciting. The other great thing about having the piece of paper is that if you're traveling in a car, you know, an A4 piece of paper is enough for the vehicle to drive around and go different places. Or if you're in a doctor's office or something, it is very transportable. You know, just draw your own little world. You can even do it on a serviette if you're in a restaurant. As part of our toys in our car, we always have a Matchbox car and a horse figurine. So she'll even drive up the side of the car when she's in there. But I do find with those two things, that go a long way. And when we went on holidays actually up to Cairns, we took a dinosaur, and it got played so much. Just a dinosaur figurine. Was a brontosaurus, I'm pretty sure. And you know, it went in the sand. It was great on the airplane. It's just an open-ended toy. It's unlimited. It's whatever her imagination wants to do. I just wanted to suggest a few other small worlds just to kind of get the ideas flowing. Is like a zoo one, so animals on safari is another option. Dinosaur world, volcanoes. I can remember as a kid doing volcanoes. I love that. Butterfly world, insect world. There's no reason why you couldn't do Paw Patrol in the snow, or Frozen in the snow, and make up some fake snow and then put Elsa and Anna in and let them act out there. So follow the child's interests. That's my big tip. And then just changing it up. So with the train set, I change the setup of it, and I'll incorporate our mat so it becomes an even bigger small world, or we might just focus on the train set. But by changing it up, it's interesting. Kids are curious. They want to just play with things different ways. So by having it inviting, they can't wait to get involved. All the activities are supervised, but I'm not an active participant. So initially, like I said, if I'm showing how to do a particular small world, I'll model, and then I'll try and take a step back and try and just ask questions to get her playing independently, and then I'll completely step away. Small worlds can be used as an education resource, so it could be a really true representation of that small world. So of a farmyard, if you're learning about farm animals and what they do and what they eat. Or it can be completely made up, where it's just all their imagination. What I love about this is the story changes each time. Once they get their imagination going, it's just wonderful to see the different storylines they come up with. Figurines can be bought from cheap dollar stores, Kmart, Target. They don't have to be expensive. Of course, there's the really beautiful, high quality ones, but I've got some from Kmart as well that I'm really happy with the quality. This whale's from there, and it's fantastic. Like I said right at the start, this is an option to screen-free activities. So kids are naturally drawn to small worlds. If you think about it, there's video games that are set up as if they're a small world, but they're so one-dimensional. You have to go a particular way to get through that round to go to the next one. Whereas small worlds that we make has unlimited options. All the activities need to be supervised, but you don't have to be an active participant. Like I said, initially I will model and then I'll take a step back, ask a question, step back, and then I won't get involved. And if she's happily playing by herself, I will let her go. I won't interrupt. So I won't say, well done, you're playing by yourself. That just interrupts her thought processes. She's in her own little imaginary world and I just need to let her play. I do love listening though, and I love how the stories change, and if the same setup, she'll take different ways each time. The last thing I want to say is it doesn't have to be expensive. A lot of the things I've shown you, you've got around your home. Go outside, grab sticks, grab pebbles, grab grass. What small worlds have you done, or what are you going to do? Put them in the comments below. Inspire other mums. Thanks heaps for watching. Bye.